Okay, guys, so before I get into these Rockhold versus Branch picks, I'd just like to talk about my picks from last weekend, the UFC 215. I mean, I guess I did decent. Well, not really. The only fight that I got 100% correct was Jeremy Stephens, obviously beating Gilbert Melendez by decision. But when I made that video, the Ray Borg fight was still on, and well, we'll never know if I would have got that prediction right, but it was replaced with Henry Cejudo versus Wilson. I don't know how to say his last name. I don't really know the pronunciation, whatever. And I predicted Henry by knockout in the third round, which he knocked Wilson out in the second round. And I know you guys can be saying, dude, this kid could just be, he could change the prediction to whatever, but no, I actually placed that prediction on a certain betting app. I don't know if I'm even allowed to like say it on here, whatever. So yeah, I got Jeremy Stephens by decision correct, and I got Henry Cejudo by knockout correct, but everything else I did not. So Tyson Pedro let me down. He didn't really ever pull the trigger. Neil Magny definitely let me down. I kind of regret trying to be the underdog and picking him. But the Shevchenko fight, dude, don't even get me started about that. That just really pissed me off. I said she was going to win by decision, and I think she really should have, but whatever. Okay, so Rockhold versus Branch. This is a pretty stacked card in my opinion. I think there's going to be some great fights. Luke's coming back after about a year off that knockout loss to Michael Bisping, which I kind of think was a fluke, but we'll talk about that later. All right, so let's get into the first fight. Before I start predicting, I just want to say, even though I didn't do so hot last time, I want you guys to give me another chance because I'm usually spot on. But anyway, okay, so for the first matchup on the main card, we have Justin Ledet versus Dmitry Sosnovsky. And both of these guys are undefeated, but I'd say the only real difference is that Justin Ledet has fought in the UFC before. He's had 2 fights, I think. And he's also fought a lot more recently. Dmitry hasn't fought since May of 2015, but honestly, I don't really think that's going to matter because I've been doing some research, and that Dmitry guy he seems like a killer. He's knocked out most of his opponents. He TKO'd Alexander Emelianenko, so you really can't overlook this guy. Justin's good too, and Justin seems like he's a little bit more, he has more versatility, but I really think that Dmitry is probably going to come out there strong and knock out Justin Ledet in the first round. That is my prediction. It's kind of ballsy, but I'm going with it. This next matchup, I'm definitely not going to talk about too much. I don't really think there's much to say. I just think that the UFC is trying to build up a Kamaru Usman hype train, so they're feeding him people they know he can beat just to build his name. So I predict Kamaru Usman to win by decision. It seems like that's what he wins by mostly, and this Sergio guy just isn't, I don't think he's on his level. I think Sergio's probably on the way out, and Kamaru's obviously riding this hype train. So yeah, like I said, Kamaru Usman by decision. That's my prediction. Next up, we've got undefeated Gregor Gillespie versus Jason Gonzalez. And out of the entire card, this is probably the matchup that I know the least about. I can't really recall a time where I've seen either of these guys fight. But just based on who's the favorite and everything, I think that, and who has the better record, I think that Gregor is probably going to win by knockout in either the first or second round. I don't want to dive too in-depth on this one because I don't really know that much about these guys, but it just seems like Gregor has the cleaner victories and obviously no defeats, so I'm going to say Gregor Gillespie by first round knockout. That's my prediction. Kind of bold, but that's what it is. This fight right here is going to be so fun to watch. We got Hector Lombard versus Anthony Smith. I just think it's so funny how the Hector Lombard hype train got derailed so fast. At this point in either guy's career, I think that Anthony Smith is on the come up, and Hector Lombard, I think, is coming off of 2 knockout losses or 2 losses. I know that one's a knockout to Dan Henderson. So yeah, Hector is a guy that thinks it's smart to stand and trade with Dan Henderson. If he stands and trades with Anthony Smith, who's the much bigger guy, I definitely think that he's going to get knocked out again. Definitely on the way out. doesn't look as good as he used to. Anthony Smith, I predict to win by... Oh, wow, I predicted another knockout. Okay, so I predict Anthony Smith to win by second round knockout. Alright, next up we've got the psychopath himself, Platinum Mike Perry versus Thiago Alves. How could I not predict Mike Perry to win by knockout? I mean, look at that, 100% knockout ratio. Like, that is crazy. And I think even he has said that he was going to win by second round knockout. Alright, Mike Perry, I'm going to agree with you on this one. Definitely think Thiago doesn't really need to be in the UFC anymore, kind of going down. They're trying to build Mike Perry up, so I think it's going to be a second round knockout. Let's get it, Mike Perry. And finally, for the main event, we've got Luke Rockhold versus David Branch. Apparently Luke is from the USA and David's from the United States. I didn't really know those were two different places. But anyway, guys, come on. Luke Rockhold. Who is David Branch? I know he's on that 10-fight win streak, but I heard that he already got cut from the UFC like a couple years ago. I don't want to be completely wrong, but I definitely think Luke is going to win by decision. I think David can hang in there. I don't think Luke's going to finish him. But I don't think he can beat Luke unless there's a major fluke like the Michael Bisping fight. If Luke just goes in there and sticks his chin out like he did last time, okay, David's got a chance. But I think that Luke's going to come in there all focused and try to redeem himself. So I really don't see David winning. I know David's like really pissed at Luke for some reason, but that doesn't transition into the ring or octagon. So yeah, Luke Rockhold, I predict to win by decision. If you listen this far, thank you. This was my second predictions video. I'm going to try to have one for every UFC event, maybe even some Bellator and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't talk on a script or anything. I don't read off a script. I kind of just press record and speak my mind about the matchup. So if it's not that polished and it's like distracting or whatever, you guys can just say in the comments if you'd rather me read off a script. I just feel like it's more authentic if I just speak. I've got another highlight video made. It can come out anytime. I'm just waiting for what seems like the right time for me to post it. So yeah, I'm trying to grow this channel. So thank you for listening. I really appreciate it.